The French fashion brand Jacquemus took over the English department store Selfridges with the help of Random Studio. To promote its new collection, Le Bleu, the studio created a multi-sensory and playful experience reminiscent of a holiday in the south of France. In a world where e-commerce has become flat and uninspiring, customers crave more. Meaningful connections, personalized experiences, and radical convenience. In this video series, Frame explores projects that aim to push the boundaries of what retail is, bridging the gap between digital and physical while deepening relationships with customers. This is Frame Views, Connected Retail.
We want to always design spaces that are fully and most engaging in that physical moment, but they live this second life on social media, and these kind of hyperphysical, as they're called, spaces, they kind of serve a dual function. For the people going there in person, it's like a fully enrapturing, beautiful moment, and then they get to have these beautiful memories of it and share them with their friends.
The project consisted of retail areas, an interactive space with changing booths, and pop-up vending machines that were accessible 24/7.
In each one of these moments and installations, we tried to convey some of the mood and attitudes of the Southern France and of the brand of Jacquemus, and of this lightness and playfulness and fun. The way we designed this space, the way we designed the interactions, is that they weren't passive. We wanted to create really evocative and moving interactions. So there was quite a minimal amount of life in the space if there was no one there. But as soon as guests and visitors came, the space came to life. We just encouraged people through kind of these surprise moments to become more playful as they went through. Whether it's the cabin that got smaller and smaller and smaller as you open more doors, or the towel flip cabin where you try to pull the door and it yanks back and flips over. It's like a dialogue between you that's very obvious and clear. Each one of the different cabins had a different soundtrack playing in and a different story. So there was one cabin where someone was trying to blow up armbands and then was nervous about swimming, and then they were kept on deflating. And we had all these small narratives. So when they finally played in the space and echoed around, it already felt like such a complete swimming pool. And then you combine that with the other people entering the space. It was a really nice, full feeling experience. It felt actually quite like a changing room.
Hyperphysical and immersive spaces can be a captivating and refreshing experience for visitors. Such projects can live a second life online, providing brands with much more exposure beyond the physical space itself.
The numbers of the Jacquemus installation in London is clear that the vast majority of people that saw it or experienced it in some way were online in social media. There was a ridiculous number of online impressions and a relatively small number of physical. So if you look at it that way, it feels like it's more of a digital space than a physical space.
Creating immersive retail projects for brands that are new and truly innovative requires the thoughtful formulation of a visual language that feels both familiar and refreshing.
As far as I remember, Jacquemus had only had this one pop-up before in Paris. So they'd obviously done quite a few fashion shows, but there wasn't really a brand language for physical space or retail space. So a big part of the job was us trying to define that language for them of how they speak in a physical space, what their tone of voice is. Through a lot of back and forth and sketching and concept phases, I think we arrived at something that was both very minimal and elegant, but also very humorous and lighthearted, which I think you can see is a language that they carry on. I think the reason the word hyperphysical even exists in the first place is because the boundaries between physical and digital are less clear these days. That you need to put this word hyper in front of it to really oh no, it is actually really physical this time. Everything is layered with digital technology and social media and the ability to scan QR codes and see augmented reality objects. So I think this hyperphysicality for brands is a way to be just really material and have people touch and feel what they have to say.
It can be challenging to predict how visitors will engage with a multi-sensory and interactive space. But planning everything to the last detail may not be possible or even desirable.
I think whenever you create spaces that are interactive and not exactly like they're not programmed to do exactly one type of thing, but many potential possibilities, there's always this unknown. Like, I think most clients and brands want to know like exactly what something will do at every point in time, but I think there's a beauty and spontaneity that can happen through digital technology that should be embraced.